Hi everybody, welcome back to echohive. In this video I thought we'll look at Python string methods, the built-in methods for the string type of variables. I did a search on Google and I got this list of all the string methods at w3schools.com. I'll put this link in the description. And then I copied all of it into OpenAI's playground using TextDaVinci 003. After pasting it, I said, give a good example code to each of the following with a comment of description in the beginning. And it gave me all of these. I will copy all this into Visual Studio Code and we'll begin from the top and see what each one of them does. So we'll learn about all the string methods that are available. And just to show you how it did, after giving all the methods and their descriptions that I copied from W3 Schools, I just typed in give a good example code to each of the following with a comment of the description in the beginning, and then when I click submit, it continued to write it as follows. But we'll just cancel that because we've already copied it. So let's begin. The capitalize method converts the first character to uppercase, hello. And if we run it, we get hello. The first character is capitalized. Let's continue. Get the second one, run it. This one is caseful, convert string into lowercase. As we can see, this H and L and O are uppercase. If we run it, it converts all the letters to lowercase. Okay, we'll continue. Run the center method, which returns a centered string. Returns a centered string. I guess, what if we were to say 20 here? Oh, okay, so it creates a string of 20 characters and then centers the word that you have put, and then in between whatever character you provide here. What if we did this? Then it will center it between those. Pretty cool. I didn't know this one. Okay, moving on. The count method returns the number of times a specified value occurs in a string. For example, in this case, L. Let's run it. Hello, this should give 2 because there are 2 L's. Moving on. Oops. Encode returns an encoded version of the string. And so it's going to encode in UTF-8. You run this. Be hello. Not sure what this is useful for, but here it is. Ends with. Ends with method returns true if the string ends with a specified value. Here it's trying to check if it's ending with O. As you can see, by the way, maybe I should have mentioned this in the beginning. So this is the word variable assigned to the string, and you can use the built-in methods by just putting a dot after the variable. Word dot ends with O, right? It's now checking if it ends with O. If we run it, it says true because it does end with O. Make this a little bigger. Find method says searches the string for a specified value and returns the position of where it was found. Okay, L, it's going to look for L. And it's in the second position, 0, 1, 2. There is another one in the third position, third index, but it's just finding the first one. Pretty cool. Format method specifies values in a string, it says. Specifies values in a string. My name is 1 year old. Format name. Oh, format. Okay. This is so there's name and age, John, and then age is 20, and it's going to if you're trying to create a string which says my name is, and you want to insert the name here and age here, this is one way to do it. If we run it, My name is John and I'm 20 years old, but there's another way to do this. Redo this using f strings. Let's see. Yeah, this is a more modern way of doing it. It does the exact same thing. So you define the name and age, and then you just put f, and then my name is, you just put in curly brackets the name, and then the age, encapsulated in regular quotation marks. So this is easier to write. Moving on, index method. Searches the string for a specified value and returns the position of where it was found. Didn't we do this? Anyway, let's just run it. It should say 2, because the first index is 0, 1, 2, right? Is alnum returns 3 if all characters in A or alphanumeric. It checks if the characters in a string is alphanumeric, and it should be, because it's the alphabet and plus the numbers, right? Is alpha returns 3 if all characters in string in the alphabet. Hello, it should return true. Is ASCII method returns true if all characters in the string are ASCII characters. Let's run it. It returns true. Is decimal. It returns true if all characters in the string are decimals. 1, 2, 3. And that's this. It should return true, it says, but yeah. But if we were to put an A in the end and run it again, it returns false. Is digit method returns if all characters true if all characters in the string are digits. If we run it, it should return true. What if we put a letter in there, A, and run it? It returns false. Is identifier method returns true if the string is an identifier. I'm not sure what that is. Actually, it says it should return false, but it returns true. Let's take a look here. Is identifier, the string's an identifier. Not sure what that is. We could do a Google search, but I'll leave that up to you. Is lower method returns true if all characters in the string are lowercase. Here in this case, it should return true. But if one of them was uppercase, then it'll return false. Is numeric method checks if all the numbers are numeric. If we run it, it's going to return true. But if we were to put a letter there at the end, it's going to return false. Is printable method returns true if all characters in the string are printable. If we run this, it should return true. I'm not sure what would be unprintable. Is space method returns true if all characters in the string are white spaces. It's an empty string, and it's true. If we put in some letters, then it returns false. Is title returns true if the string follows the rules of a title, which means, I believe, the first letters of each word being capitalized. If you run it, it's going to return true. But if you were to put an end here without the capitalization, then it returns false. Is upper method returns true if all characters in the string are uppercase. In this case, it should return true. If we were to put a lowercase in there, it will return false. Join method converts the elements of an iterable into a string. So here we have a list that consists of element hello and world, and then it makes a new empty string and then joins these elements of the list into a string and prints it. Well, we're printing it in hello world. And we could have put a exclamation mark here. And if we run it, should put an exclamation mark in there. This is pretty useful. Ljust method, left justified version of the string, but given that 10. So maybe if you have a empty placeholder or something that you need to use exactly 10 characters, then you can actually left justify it using any kind of filler here, as we did before. If you put dash, then it will fill it with dash and justify the word to left, and there's also right justify method as well. We'll come to that here in a moment. Lower method converts a string into lowercase. If you run it, it's going to convert these L and O and H to lower. L strip method returns the left version of the string. So here we have some white space in the left, and if you run it, it should remove those white spaces. Make trans method returns a translation table to be used in translations. Trans table A, E, I, O, U. Place table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And if we run it, okay, it does some kind of assignment, some kind of it assigns the trans table with replace table, but I'm not sure what these numbers are. Maybe well, it requires a Google, I believe, but I'll leave that up to you. Partition, if you really need to use that method. Partition method returns a tuple where the string is parted into 3 parts. Trans tuple where strings parted into 3 parts. I guess it could be more than 3 parts, but if we run it, it's going to take hello and then the space and then the world. But what if we had end here? How many parts would it divide? Oh, okay. Huh. Only into 3 parts. Interesting. Replace method returns a string where a specified value is replaced with a specified value. This is pretty useful. Hello world, and then we want to replace, say, world with universe. Hello universe. Great. This is pretty useful. rfind method searches the string for a specified value and returns the last position of where it was found. Last position. Remember we did the same thing. I forgot which method it was, but it was returning the first position. Now it's returning the last position, which is this one. In the L in the world, that is. R index searches the string for a specified value, returns the last position where it was found. Didn't we just do this? R find, and there's also R index. Okay, this does the same thing. R just, this does the opposite of left just, so it creates a 10 and let's say letter value, and that fills the left with whatever filler you provide here in this case, because hello is 5 letters and it puts in another 5 of the filler. This is R just. R partition returns a tuple where the string is parted into 3 parts. This does the same thing. We'll skip these. R split method splits the string at the specified separator and returns a list. So hello, and then we have a space and then the world in this string, and we want to split it at the space, so then output should be a list of hello and the world, as we can see. But for example, if you were to put a comma here and said comma, then it should return HEL and then the rest of it. This is also pretty useful. R strip method removes the white space on the right of the string. It's not very visible, but it had removed it. Split method splits the string at a specified separator and returns a list. So this is similar to the last one. Hello in the world, right? Which was the last one? R split, and then there's also just a split. Split method is probably more useful. Split lines method splits the string at line breaks and returns the list. Oh, at line breaks. Okay. See, actually, I was looking for something like this. I'm glad I run into it for the adventure game building with GPT-3, because I believe the prompt requires these, and then when it returns its response, it comes with /n a lot of times. So this might be useful if we run it. We get the list, because /n is a new line separator, essentially, I mean line break. Starts with returns true if the string starts with a specified value. We run it. Starts with h, true. What if we were to say lowercase h? It says false, so it's case sensitive. Strip method returns a trimmed version of the string. So this is it's just going to remove the white spaces, I believe. Exactly. What if we had spaces in between? No, only to the left and right. All right, swap case method, swap cases, lowercase becomes uppercase and vice versa. This is interesting. Pretty cool. Not sure when you would need it, but good to know. Title method converts the first character of each word to uppercase. Yeah, it turns it into a title. H and W becomes uppercase. Translate method returns a translated string, which is what? First string that translates. First string. First string and second string. Wrong. So this output is suggested is wrong. What would do? So it took the first letter and second letter of W in the second string, and the last letter, and then I'm not sure. This requires a Google. Upper method converts the string into uppercase, so it's all lowercase, and then it converts everything into uppercase. Z-fill method, this is the last one. I thought this video would be shorter, but here we are. Z-fill method fills the string with a specified number of 0 values in the beginning. Run it. Yeah, and so if we needed a total of 10, if we needed a total of 20 character, 20 length, then it would put 15 zeros, I believe. So this is it. These are all the string methods. I hope you found it useful, and I'll do another video like methods for lists and other variables. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you like the content, and take care.